In 2023, the overdose rate in this country topped 112,000 in a 12-month period. That's according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. One of the people who died that year was Alan Terrence Shaw, dog owner, College of Charleston graduate, and the son of Dr. Alan Shaw, who joins us in the News 2 studio to share more about his family's story about addiction, overdose, treatment, and a golf tournament that honors his son's memory. Dr. Shaw, thank you so much for being in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
We've met a couple of times over the years, but we spent a lot of time together last year around this time, certainly talking about your son, Alan. Let's talk about Alan today.
Yes. I can't believe it's been over a year now that he's passed, but he's remembered every day. And so we wanted to honor him. The worst thing when a parent loses a child is to not carry on his name or her name. So a lot of what we're doing today is carrying on Alan's name to help drug addiction awareness and prevention.
So that's something that motivates you, your love for your son, and also the idea of helping other families.
100%. I mean, I do a lot of reading on this, and believe it or not, think of all the wars that the United States have been in throughout history. If you add up all the fatalities, it's 1.1 million soldiers have passed away from all of the wars, including the Civil War. Since 2000, 1.1 million people have died of drug overdoses. So as many people that have died in wars have died from the war on drugs in the United States.
You are doing a lot in terms of informing people, increasing awareness, and one of the other things that you've done to try to curb and end this epidemic is to start a nonprofit, a charity. Give us the idea behind it and what you are doing.
Yeah, thanks for asking. It's named after my late son, Alan T. Shaw II. It's a charity. It's a 501c3, a nonprofit. 100% of the proceeds go to help drug addiction awareness and prevention. It will help create education in high schools, middle schools, and universities to let them know, because a lot of drug addiction happens in those areas. So we're trying to use as many resources and raise as many resources as possible to educate people about, the dangers of it. We're also looking to help universities out as much as possible in their collegiate recovery centers. And we will help anybody through these funds who are struggling with addiction and are having trouble affording the medicine or the therapy.
Dr. Shaw, you've had a chance to speak with a lot of families whose stories may be similar to yours and some very dissimilar. What are they telling you about this experience and the epidemic of drug overdose addictions?
Yeah, I belong to a number of organizations that we talk a lot about drug addiction. It's the same story, that not enough is being done. That here we are in such a great country, but we're really not making this a top national security problem. Certainly the southern border has become an issue to stop the movement of fentanyl through the southern border. But overall, there's too many people dying. There's 112,000 people have died last year, Americans, just in the US. So it continues the frustration continues to mount up, because we've got to continue to press on and do things to help other families. We've got to save each other, is the bottom line.
One of the ways that you are opening the lines of connection is through your charity, and we want people to know how they can continue the conversation with you and learn more about the work that you are doing. So tell us more about the website and the actual golf tournament.
Okay, so thank you for asking. The golf tournament is going to be in Kiowa. It's at the River Course, and thank you to the Kiowa Island Club for donating the course. December 8th and 9th. December 8th is going to be a reception, and there's also going to be a silent auction. So if anybody has any things to silent auction, we would love to have them.
People like doing that in Charleston.
Absolutely, a very good city. And December 9th is the golf tournament, and we're looking to have 30 foursomes. We've already got a number signed up, but we'd love for people to sign up. I'd love for them to also look at our website to have be possible sponsors. The website, if I could, is Alan, the number 2, so it's ALAN, the number 2, legacy.org. So Alan2legacy.org.
All right. Yes, Dr. Alan Shaw, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you sharing your story.
Thank you so much.